Hello, fellow Murdlers. Today is Sunday, April 28th, 2024, and it's a great day to solve a murder. Today we have the mysterious murder at the luxurious white-collar prison, and sure enough, we are at our luxury high-end international rich people prison, so we will see some familiar locations and themes today. All right, so we do have three 6x6 grids with suspects, locations, and weapons, and we do have a red murder clue today. You know I love this one. The murder took place wet. I'm obsessed with the spa clues in these Sunday puzzles. Everything here is wet. So of course we know that the murder took place in the spa. And what we'll do is we'll go through our clues and evidence, and we'll use our detective's notebook to figure out who was in the spa, what weapon they had, and we will see how that solves out our case today. So let's meet our suspects. If you hadn't noticed, these are all folks that we had as murderers this week, so kind of a fun little reunion there. We've got Sir Rulian, Grandmaster Rose, Dame Obsidian, Miss Saffron, Babyface Blue, and Dr. Crimson. The weapons today are a diamond-encrusted skeleton key, a bottle of Cabernet toilet wine, a pair of literal golden handcuffs, a lawyer, a gold watch, and Murdle Volume 1. The locations today are the spa, the movie theater, the guard tower, the private suite, the rec room, and the Michelin-starred cafeteria. And of course, the spa is the place where the murder happened this week. All right, so let's dive into our clues and evidence. We'll start off with a fingerprint clue, and this fingerprint was found in the private suite. So whomever this fingerprint belongs to, we know that their location was the private suite. This is a very interesting pattern here, and I see that here with Sir Rulian. So we can go ahead and mark Sir Rulian in the private suite. All right, and we'll cross this off. We've got an anagram clue next. Miss Saffron was seen with Murdle Volume 1. I think this one's pretty straightforward, but the colon would give it away here. If we look at weapons, Murdle colon Volume 1. So that plus the number that immediately gives us away is Murdle Volume 1. And Miss Saffron, the two F's would instantly tell you that that was that suspect. And then, yeah, you'll just get used to was seen with or was discovered by or was found near or things like that. Those will start to become very familiar patterns to you, no matter how they're jumbled up. So Miss Saffron was seen with Myrtle Volume 1. Myrtle Volume 1 for Miss Saffron. Right. The second shortest suspect was seen in the movie theater. So for this one, we've got to be careful. These often trip people up because they'll look for shortest suspect, but we've got to look for the second shortest suspect. The other thing that I'll call out is you may be tempted to leave out Sir Rulian since we already have his location in the private suite. But in this case, we're looking at the global heights, right? So we need to look at every single person's height and not just the remaining subset of suspects. So let's look at Sir Rulian included. We've got 5'8", 5'7", 5'4", 5'2", 7'8", and 5'9". So that's going to be Dame Obsidian at 5'4", because the shortest suspect is Miss Saffron at 5'2". So Dame Obsidian is the second shortest at 5'4". So we'll put Dame Obsidian in the movie theater. All right. A red drop was found beneath the cushions of a velvet seat. This is a two-part clue. The red drop for these puzzles and Sunday puzzles, this is always going to be the bottle of Cabernet toilet wine. And this one we sometimes struggle with because there isn't a mention of a red drop. Often you would see something like a red drop left behind. We don't have that for this one, but we do know that's the Cabernet toilet wine. Now this one's a bit more straightforward. Cushions of a velvet seat. I know that if we look at the card for the movie theater, we're going to see these red velvet seats. So that's what we typically see in terms of those connections. Either way, I'm confident that the Cabernet toilet wine was in the movie theater, which means it was Dame Obsidian's weapon, which is what I'm marking in now. And then we'll also say that it was in the movie theater. Right. Grandmaster Rose brought a diamond-encrusted skeleton key. All right, nothing for us to deduce there, very straightforward. Grandmaster Rose and the diamond-encrusted skeleton key, we'll mark that in there. All right. So we've got an astrology clue here and it's birthday based. So if you look through the suspect cards, you'll see we only have their star signs. We don't have their birthdays. So this is kind of a two-part in the sense that we first need to figure out which star sign is May 31st. So it looks like that's going to be Gemini. And now we need to figure out who the Gemini or Geminis were. So we got Leo, Scorpio, Leo, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. All right, so we're looking at Babyface Blue as the only Gemini. And they were in the guard tower. So we'll mark that in there. Okay. A diamond encrusted skeleton key, and remember that's Grandmaster Rose's weapon, was certainly not in the rec room. Okay, so we say that Grandmaster Rose then was not in the rec room, and the diamond encrusted skeleton key was not in the rec room. And technically this is what the clue is telling us, but we're also able to fill this in because we have already combined these two. So we can put it in as well in the locations and suspects, or suspects and locations. All right, Babyface Blue brought a lawyer. Again, no deduction needed. This is very straightforward. We'll mark in a lawyer for Babyface Blue, and then we can also mark in the location of the lawyer as the guard tower, because that was Babyface Blue's location. Okay. A golden handcuff key was discovered beside a non-GMO dinner. So that's going to be the Michelin-starred restaurant, non-GMO, right here in the clue card. And we've got a golden handcuff key, so it's going to be the literal pair of golden handcuffs. And that was beside a non-GMO dinner. So we're going to go over here and mark that in as the location for the golden handcuffs. Now, we know that the golden handcuffs can belong either to Dr. Crimson or, well, we would have said they could have belonged to Cerulean, except that we already know Cerulean's location is the private suite. So we can actually mark that off, and that's going to give us our solve, I believe, because that means Cerulean must have had the gold watch, and we can assign the pair of literal golden handcuffs to Dr. Crimson. So we've got all the suspects and all of the weapons, and I think we have enough information here that we can build out the rest of this. So let's take a look. We've got Grandmaster Rose. Yep, here we go. Because we know Grandmaster Rose had the diamond encrusted skeleton key, we know that, and we know that the golden handcuffs were part of the Michelin-starred cafeteria, or were found in the Michelin-starred cafeteria, rather. We know that Grandmaster Rose cannot have been in the cafeteria because Grandmaster Rose did not have the golden handcuffs. So if we mark that in, by process of elimination, the only remaining location for Grandmaster Rose is the spa, and that means Grandmaster Rose was our murderer today. So we can go ahead and mark in our information here. We've got Grandmaster Rose with a diamond encrusted skeleton key in the spa. So I'll go ahead and flip these over, but before we go ahead and submit our answer, I'm just going to take an extra moment and fill out the rest of our detective's notebook and make sure everything's looking correct. All right, we've got our detective's notebook all filled out. It's looking good to me. So we've got Grandmaster Rose with the diamond encrusted skeleton key in the spa. Let's go ahead and see if we were right. All right, we were right. Thanks so much for playing along with me today. I hope this was a helpful walkthrough, and we'll see you tomorrow.